Hi, and welcome to Gigaminx. We are going to start this video by learning how to solve the innermost white face. There's going to be a little bit of strategy involved in this, but once you get it down, it's fairly simple. The first thing that we're going to look for is we are going to look for one middle white piece, just one. So we're going to rotate our cube around. Here's a nice convenient middle piece, and we're simply going to rotate that up. Now remember, with the white face, we get away with a lot of stuff. Normally, we would have to then rotate that out of the line of travel and then replace it, okay? But with the white face, technically, because it's the first one, you're not going to mess anything else up, so you can be a little sloppy, all right? Now notice, once we put this middle piece in, I still have 5 corners that I have to do and 4 more middle pieces. And we are going to build bars like we did with the 4x4, and we're going to rotate them in place. But when we do that, we're going to, for the next piece, make sure that we get a middle one and a corner one, so that when we rotate this in, it's going to bump up against this white one. All right. So that means then that we're going to have to find a middle one, and then we're going to have to find a corner piece so that we can attach them together. And honestly, this is just going to take time to put these all together. Okay, it's not that it's extremely difficult, it's just it's going to take some time to do it. All right, so we're going to rotate our cube. Now notice this middle piece and these 2 corner pieces are on the same face. So if I wanted to try to attach them, I would have to rotate one of them out, realign them, and then bring them back. Or I can simply just keep looking. Notice this one has a middle piece. So I'm going to rotate this face counterclockwise. This line of travel, this white piece, if I rotate this up, it's going to land or replace this blue piece, which would then be right next to the white piece. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to simply rotate this up so that these 2 match. Now I want my white face, I want this white piece to be moved in such a way that when I rotate this bar along this line of travel, this white piece, which is going to end right here, this white corner is going to end here. So I want this middle piece to be right here so it butts up against it. So before I do my line of travel where I move this up, I'm going to rotate my white face middle piece into its perfect spot, I guess, basically. Now I'm going to rotate this up. Under normal circumstances, we would rotate this entire piece out of the line of travel, and we would bring it back down. Now I'm down to 4 corners and 3 middle pieces. So again, I'm going to simply look for a corner and a middle piece. I've got to build 2 more of these. I'm going to build 2 more single corners and middle pieces. So I'm going to come back now to this piece here that was on this face earlier. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to rotate the middle 2 turns. So when I bring this white down on this line of travel, it will bump up against this white middle piece. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate it down. Now again, you know, we would move this and rotate this back. But because it is the whites, we get away with a lot of stuff. Now this line of travel travels along this cube, basically horizontal the way that I have it set up. I need to rotate this bar to get up to here. So I'm going to start by saying, okay, will this be the right placement if I move this white piece over? Well, it looks like it's going to work because this corner piece is going to replace this corner when I rotate it up. So we're going to rotate it up. We're going to rotate it, bring it back down, just to practice good habits. All right. Now I've got 3 corners and 2 middle pieces. Again, I'm going to find a corner piece and just 1 middle. And when I solve this one, what we're going to be left with is a middle and 2 corners. And then we're going to slide that one in to replace it. All right. So let's rotate the cube around. Okay, here's 2 corners. Now I just have to find a middle white piece that I can line it up with. So I'm going to put my finger on the pink center. Oh, look at here, right here. All right. So I'm going to take this side. I'm going to rotate it up. I'm going to move it out of the line of direction, and I'm going to bring that back because honestly, I don't know where my white piece is, and I didn't want to mess it up. Now, the way that it sits, I have a couple choices. I can either rotate this face again so that when I bring this line of travel down, this white face would be over here, so they would line up. Or, because this is on top, and this is in the top corner, when I bring this down, following this line of travel, these 2 will hook up. So I'm just going to simply bring that side down. Now, just good practice, I'm going to rotate it out of the way and replace that side. Now I'm going to put my finger here and I'm going to rotate around to find my white face because this is where it has to travel to. Now the thing about the gray side is I know that gray is opposite white, so it tells me I'm going to have to rotate this bar all the way down. All right, so here we go. I'm going to rotate down, move it out of the line of direction, replace that side. I'm going to flip it or rotate it, just the face. Remember, when we just rotate the faces, we're not going to mess up any other face. But now I'm going to rotate this piece down. I'm going to rotate it out of the line of travel and replace that piece. And now I've got it next to a face that's next to the white where I need it to go. All right. I have to fix my white face so that when I slide this piece in or this bar in, I make room for it. I'm going to rotate the face so that I have no white in there. So when I return it, I'm not going to mess up another face. Now we have to go piece together the last middle and the 2 edges. And what you're going to find is as we move up in our sizes of cubes, this is going to become the pattern. We're going to start with 1, and then we're going to build up, and then the last one that we always put in is always going to have the most because it's going to finish that whole exterior piece. All right. So I think they were somewhere over here on this side. So here's my white middle on orange. I'm going to leave that there. All right, here's 1 corner piece. I'm going to move it up, rotate it out of the line of direction or line of travel, and bring that down. The way that it sits, it's going to fit perfectly up here if I rotate it up. Good practices tell me to rotate the white out of the line of travel and bring that side back down. All right, now I'm still on orange. I've got to go find that last, here it is right here, corner piece. I'm going to rotate it up. I'm going to move it out of the line of travel. I'm going to bring that side down. Now, if I try to rotate, even though this is on the bottom, and I do really technically want it to replace the bottom, the problem is the 2 whites are in the line of travel. So if I rotate that up, it's going to make my other 2 white pieces disappear on the other face. So I'm going to fix the face. Now when I fix the face, this piece is not going to show up next to the two white because the white piece is on the bottom. It's going to replace the purple. So now I'm going to rotate the white piece so that it is up top. I take the white piece, I rotate it up, I move it out of the line of travel, and I bring the line of travel back down. Now I'm going to find my white side, which is over here. So I'm going to take my orange, where it's, on the orange face, I'm going to rotate it up, rotate all the white pieces out of the line of travel. So I have to rotate it twice, bring that side back down. On the first face, because it is white, technically, I can get away with simply pushing that entire bar up there and filling it in. However, you can only get away with that on the white side. On every other face, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up bringing our bar over to the other side, and we're going to take this bar and temporarily push this bar out of the way. So we're going to push it up. We're going to rotate that to the non-white piece. So when I rotate this back down, it completes this face. Okay, I want to talk about just a little trouble area that you may run into, and it's an easy solve. We just have to sometimes rotate some things around, or you may have to go flip another piece. It's really not that big of a deal, but I just feel like you need to see it. All right, so here's my white, and I'm still trying to solve these, right? I'm still trying to solve a middle and a corner. So here I've got a middle, here I've got a corner. I'm going to line it up. And again, it's pretty clear that we can't take this and rotate this up here in this line of travel because I have white pieces there. But when I go to rotate it and I try and bring this up, notice what happens. I end up with a corner piece that's empty in between two middles. And that's not how we want to build this. We always want to, when we bring a bar up here, we always want to make sure that we fill in a corner next to a middle piece. All right, so let's back it back down. Well, let's see if we can make it work some other way. What happens if I rotate this face over to the opposite side? Well, on this face, then I'm going to need a top open space. So if I rotate that face, then this line of travel will place this corner up here to top. And then I have satisfied it. All right, so that's just one little thing that you may come across where you actually have to rotate the bar to a different side. So let's finish it. Where's my other white piece? Okay, here it is. So we're going to bring that down, move it out of the way, fix my line of rotation. I'm going to rotate the top of the cube. Notice this is on the bottom, so I have to rotate this face up. So when I put those together, I get a full bar. I'm going to rotate all of the white pieces out of that line of travel, bring down that side. Now I'm going to rotate this bar up, move them all out of the line of travel, bring that side down. And now I'm going to want to replace a bar. All right, now this is something else that might catch you a little bit off guard. You've got 3 pieces here, and I want 3 pieces to be solved for. So if you left it here thinking, oh, I'm going to take these 3 pieces, shove these 2 out of the way, and I'm going to get it solved, you're going to have a slight problem. Because now you're going to have to try and get the other 2 in here with this one already there, and you're not going to be able to do it. So remember, on the last one, when we're replacing pieces for pieces, it has to be the same number. So I need to rotate this cube so that when I rotate this bar up, I replace 3 by 3. All right, so I'm going to rotate it up. Notice I pushed all 3 out of the way. All my whites are still connected. I'm going to rotate my cube around so that there are no white pieces on there. So when I bring this back down, my white face is complete. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day and happy cubing.